Hi, and welcome back to FemLogic AI, where we show you how to save time using automation and AI so that you can use that time to bring yourself joy. So let's get started. And today I'm going to go over the 2024 predictions. So clearly I don't have a crystal ball, but these are my predictions on how I think AI is going to evolve just from what I've read. I've read a lot of other people's predictions and kind of like pieced together my own version of these are the predictions for the future, so to speak. So inevitably, I figure I'll get at least half of these wrong. So let's get started. I've got 8 of them to talk to you about. We'll go ahead and start out with the first one is I think we're going to go through and we're going to see is AI like certification that it is done by a human. So I think we are going to see some certifications pop up. There's a lot of detectors out there right now for the text where you can paste in text and all that good stuff. But I think we're going to see some more checkers come up. And let me show you a couple of those. All right, so the first thing we talked about here is the first prediction I have is that we're going to see more certification as to this was written by a human, this was written by AI, or this was created by AI. And so we've all familiar with this. This is Ivy Panda, and you could copy and paste an essay in here, and it'll give you a prediction on whether it thinks it was written by AI or by a human. And so there's a lot of these out there. They are okay, accuracy wise, I'd say 60% at best. My opinion is I haven't seen any of them that are perfect, great, but, I think we'll see, those get a little better. It's going to get harder and harder to make those perfect because as AI gets smarter and the large language model grows, it's going to have more input and be able to talk more like a human. So this is one that's like text, one example. Another one I saw is this art, which I thought this was new. And so this is a company here, Human Made. And you can actually sign up for an account if you're an artist, and you can certify that your work is made by a human, and then they give you a certificate. So if you are on an Etsy seller or you're an artist and you want to, make sure that people know that your work is actually original, done by a human, you can get a certification here. So I think we're going to see more certification companies pop up like this. Now, how they're verifying that, I'm not particularly 100% on. I know they do have an AI model where they are using that, but it may not necessarily be, 100%. But I think it's a pretty cool thing to have. So the last thing I wanted to show you is as we get more tools that are going to be telling us that things are detectable by AI, we are also seeing tools pop up that make it so that your AI wording is more like a human. So it's going to be harder and harder. So, one pops up, then another pops up. So, I think that AI is not going anywhere and we just need to learn to embrace it. But I do think there's going to be some value where people are going to want to know in certain circumstances, was this created by a human or was it created by AI? So on to the next one. All right, so number 2 is I think we're going to see more scams with AI. So I don't know about you, but I feel like that my inbox gets more and more junk mail, more phishing every day. Unfortunately, I think this is going to increase, and it's disproportionate as it always has been to an elderly population. So this concerns me a lot and something that I really don't care for. So let me show you some examples of what I'm talking about and how you might get around that a little bit, because I do think the scams and things like that are going to increase. All right, so on our second one, our increase in scams, I want to show you how that might be possible. So, we all know that we're getting more and more phone calls, we're getting more and more emails, but I wanted to show you, I just typed this in, I'm calling to talk to you about your expiring car warranty. We can save you hundreds of dollars per year or hundreds per year. So if I am calling to talk to you about your expiring and so it'll keep going through all of these, but it's a very easy AI voice generator type thing. And so I could easily see, people using this. You could actually even take your own voice and make that into something. They only need about 5 seconds of your voice. So imagine, if it was, my child calling or a parent calling or something like that. So it's really scary what can happen. This is I would say this is a, voice to text, used, intended for a positive purpose. But I can see where things like this, since they're so easy, can be used in a scam situation. Another thing I wanted to show you is this scamdetector.com, scam-detector.com is a website where you can, I do this all the time where I'm on social media and something pops up and they're like, oh, you can buy it here. So I've a few times purchased things that I never received, but I did get charged for. So what you can do here is before you buy, you can take your website and paste it in here and click this validate, and it will go through and tell you if it's going to validate. Now, it does take a few minutes to actually come up and validate, but it will tell you if it is on a spam list, if it is on a scammers list. It will go through all those validations and make sure that it is legit and not. Now, it's not 100%, nothing is, but it's better than nothing. So I did want to kind of show you ways around the scams. So hopefully even though scams are going to increase, we don't fall victim to them. So, all right, next one. All right, number 5 is going to be ChatGPT 5. So didn't mean to do that, but it worked out. So I think that when ChatGPT 5 comes online, right now I feel like Google Gemini is here, and maybe ChatGPT is here. And so I think that GPT 5 is going to really set the standard. I feel like that OpenAI has my confidence in that. I think that they are onto something. I'm not sure what their secret sauce is, but whatever it is, they've done well. They are also in with Microsoft, who, in my opinion, do a fantastic job in taking what their competitors have done and one-upping them times 10. So I think that GPT-5 is going to come online, and I think that's going to be stellar. So time will tell on that one. So that is number 5. Number 6, I think we are going to see more positions come open related to AI. So we've always seen data scientists, maybe data and analytics, and kind of merging that into data science, which even though they're two different things. But what we're going to see now, I think, is your chief AI officer. So you're going to see people at the top you've got your CTO, your CIO, which is, in my opinion, I think of it as the internal workings of your IT department, your infrastructure, all of those things. When you've got your external pieces, your customer-facing items, that's your CTO, right? And then you've got your chief AI officer, which these guys are going to work horizontally across the IT organization, as well as the organization as a whole. And they may not even fall under they may not even fall under IT. They may fall under the CEO, to report directly to a CEO, because when you think about it, AI is something all departments and everyone is going to use, and it is not specific to IT, even though there's a lot of those skills in there. So I can see companies putting it under the CEO as well as under the CIO. So time will tell, and I think that's going to be interesting. So let's see what we have next. So that's 5 and 6. Let's see what number 7 is. All right, so number 7, I'm going to say, is going to be regulatory compliance. I think we're going to see a lot more of that come online in 2024. And not only regulatory compliance on, making sure that what you can copyright and what you can't, but also I think we're investors. And so when you look at these startups and these investment companies and how they're inflating their value based on the word AI just being in the equation, I think they're going to start saying, okay, are you actually that valuable or not? And so as these tools become more and more easily accessible, I think some of these evaluations are going to go down, because if you can do it yourself in a $20 a month ChatGPT subscription, it's going to be hard to justify paying someone else, $20, $30 a month for their subscription model. So I think that there's going to be a battle of that going on, and a lot of that regulatory compliance going on, where they're going to try to make sure that companies aren't being overvalued. So I think we are going to see a little bit of a shrink in some of the startups, but the ones that survive are going to be solid. So that's my opinion on that. And the very last one I have is the gig economy. So I think we are going to move more and more to the gig economy. So, everybody knows about return to office, RTO, which not a whole lot of people are fans of, especially after we had a nice 2 years of, not COVID specifically nice, but it was nice to work from home and be around your family and be able to have lunch with them and things like that. And so I think that we're going to go back towards the gig economy where people are just going to get frustrated with return to office. And if you have the skills and the abilities, I think that companies are either going to flex you specifically on one-off situations based on how valuable you are to them. If you're the number one programmer, they'll probably work with you, right? So I think that you're going to see a mix of both people getting special treatment for like work from home, as well as you're going to see the gig economy come up. And I also think you're going to see, based on you're going to see a lot of people starting their own companies, starting their own agencies, because you're going to see that they're going to realize they can do more with the time they have, or they can use that time, like we show you here, to bring you more joy. So however you choose to use that time, I think you're going to see a lot of that. So you're going to see both new companies pop up that are going to be AI agencies and things of that nature, as well as you're going to see more people in the gig economy. So that's what I have for 2024. I guess we'll check back and see how we did in December. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.